Ain't I a stinker? But yeah, I promised you guys I would do this video in the April Fool's Day video, so even though I really don't like this style, I mean, you guys know I don't work well off the cuff. I've said as much in the past, and hell, I even had a show where I tried to work off the cuff. I mean, you guys remember that, right? But I couldn't fucking swing it. I didn't like it. This isn't my usual format. Plus, my camera is currently a DSLR Nikon D3300, and that only allows me to shoot 10 minutes at a time, basically. So, as talky and as rambly as a motherfucker as I am, you know, having to get cut off every 10 minutes is a big fucking hurdle for someone like me to jump over, you know? I need to get good at organizing my thoughts and such. Where the hell was I? But yeah, you guys have been asking me for this video ever since the single dropped a few weeks back, and you know, I've read your comments, I've read your replies on social media, I've gone through it, and the general consensus for this song is that it's pretty bad. Like people don't like a lot of the electronic elements. People are saying, oh god, they're regressing. You know, oh no, it's Raditude all over again. It's Raditude with a 2 instead of I thought that was kind of clever. If that happens again, we will have to break that one out. And you know, I mean, the general consensus for this song has been very... the reception hasn't been warm. Some people have been nicer than others, but at least a lot of the circles that come to me say, oh god, I hate this song. Like, a lot of you are probably waiting for me to, like, you know, take out the old axe and give it the old treatment, you know? And here's the thing about that. Let me start off, okay, to those of you that are new to the channel or just clicking on this out of curiosity, this is just my opinion. This isn't, like, any... I don't, you know... It's just my opinion, nothing else. No, you know, I don't pretend my opinion matters more than yours or anyone else's. This is just, I don't know, people were curious enough to ask me what I thought about this, so I'm just answering that, okay? So if you feel differently, I'm not coming after you, alright? It's not a big deal, it's just a disagreement, okay? Please don't be childish if we have a different opinion here, okay? Thank you very much. I will totally troll you in the comments if you get ugly, so... fuck off. No, but, okay. Yeah, my thoughts on this song. Do I feel the same way? Do I really hate this song as much as most people seem to? At first I did. Oh my god, I couldn't stand this song at first. Oh, that first listen, I heard it, I was like, what the fuck even is this? Like, this is, compared to the last few albums, this is a dramatic shift in style, in tone. It's different, ain't it? It's like, even whether you like it or not, you gotta agree this is a different flavor of Weezer, you know? But at first, yeah, I really didn't like it, and like, the video doesn't help. Like, the weird, goofy, kind of creepy ass black and white video for this, beautiful animation, beautifully executed. No, but it's a beautifully adapted video. It looks great, just from like a technical standpoint, but it's fucking creepy and scary and weird looking. It makes me uncomfortable. You know, ew. You know, given the you know, different approach this song takes, and the negative reception behind the video, you know, I get why this is getting such a big blowback. I really do. Even I really didn't like this song. I really didn't. The first few times I heard it, I was like, oh god, no. No, guys, no. You were doing so well. Just no. But the thing is, you know, the more I listen to it, I gotta admit, the more the song grows on me. I hated this song at first, but after having listened to it like over the past few weeks and even a few times before making this video, I think I got to admit that, yeah, I'm kind of won over on the song. I kind of dig it now. I like it. But it is drastically different. It's, man, this is Weezer breaking into some new territory, it sounds like. It sounds like the Black Album is going to cross a lot of previously uncrossed borders with this band, which, given the places Weezer has gone, you'd figure there wouldn't be that much more unexplored territory to dip into, but it looks like they're going the full sort of super electronic, super sort of depressed kind of vibe. Like, I've even read a few articles out there that say, Rivers is writing the Black Album to be kind of darker, a bit more somber, a bit on the melancholy side. Excuse me. See, this is another reason why I don't do live videos like this. But yeah, it seems to be taking on a bit of a darker tone. And, this first single is a good indication of that. I mean, like, the music is all like pianos and synthesizers, and the bass is very fuzzy and very electronic sounding, and it's pushed way up into the front. The drums are also like kind of like they're very staticky, like they're punchy, but they've also got that, not quite crystal clear sort of, not that raw acoustic punch that most rock drums and usually have, and the same style of drumming that the last two albums had. Like, this album, well, again, it's an electronic kind of feel. Like, I think Weezer is gonna be going in a bit of a, well, more of an electronica, sort of dark electronica kind of feel. I don't think they're gonna go full extremist on us or anything, but yeah, this album has a darker tone and a darker vibe, and if this song is an indication of what else is gonna be happening on this album, I think we're certainly in for a trip, if nothing else. But, see, that's the thing. I was caught off guard by this song. I really was. Like, this song, when I first heard it, it just wasn't what I was expecting, especially after the motherfucking White Album. I mean, God, the White Album was so Beach Boys, It was so, like, not from a lyrical sense, but musically it was like bright and poppy and sunny. It was slathered in like 60s pop and like sort of this cheerier, it had a cheerier sort of vibe going for it, I mean, except with Thank God for Girls, but yeah. Look, type whatever you fucking want in the comments. I still hate that song with a passion. That song's like the only song from that previous album that I really just don't like. Really, and it hasn't grown on me at all. Well, except for some of the B-sides. I didn't like I Love the USA, really. Great video, but not a kind of a dumb, stupid song, whatever. But my point being that the White Album had a much different vibe going on, and it was still kind of keeping in step with the vibe they created on Everything Will Be Alright in the End, return to rock roots, it was the whole, sorry guys, I forgot that disco sucks kind of vibe, they were back to rocking, a different style of rock, but they were still rocking. This, well, it's certainly a different style of rock. I'd almost say this album, I mean, it feels like Rivers has been listening to a lot of like dark 80s electropop. Like, it has that weird sort of feel, like kind of a, these are extreme examples, but like a Bauhaus-ish kind of thing, or like a Joy Division, not necessarily a New Order, but like a Joy Division sort of feel. Like, it's a somber song. The lyrics kind of feel like gibberish, and I understand people have issue with the lyrics too. It's just, it sounds at, the first couple of takes like just a bunch of random goofy Weezer shit. Climbing up a mountain just to buy his computer, just weird goofy shit that doesn't make a lot of like sense in, no specific context. But, the more I read over the lyrics, the more I kind of realized it doesn't make perfect sense, but it doesn't feel nonsensical in a way. It feels like a stream of conscious. The song is clearly about love lost, you know? It's about, you know, a relationship that didn't work out, and it's about missing a person that you were severely, severely close to. And that theme does come off, you know? It almost feels like a guy who's just piecing together little broken memories of his past, you know, of the good times and the bad times they had with this person, and just their mind is still kind of a cluttered fog of just random memories, random scenes, random, you know, sort of portraits of their relationship all just lined up in a row, like someone walking through a museum of their past and watching, you know, viewing the little, you know, the little pieces of their memories as they walk by. Oh, here's that time, you know, we went mountain climbing, and oh, here's that, remember when I met you in the coffee shop, and oh God, there were those 3 months where we broke up but got back together and I missed you so much. You know, just, it has that kind of cluttered, disorganized stream of consciousness, just not necessarily coherent, but still just vaguely understandable. You don't have a complete picture, but you can still piece together the meaning. I'm looking way too deep into this shit, I'm positive, but I mean, that's what you guys pay me for, and I love you for it. But yeah, lyrically, I do dig what's going on. It's a bit more, you know, it's a bit more sophisticated than some of the stuff we've been seeing on other Weezer releases. I mean, you know, compared to shit like Thank God for Girls and I Love the USA, and even some of the better songs like, you know, like King of the World, or, well, you know, some of the better stuff that has come out. Like, Weezer has succeeded very well in passing. Another reason I don't like doing live videos, I am no speak good. Weezer has kept their formula fairly simple over the past few albums, but they've kept it but by keeping it sort of straightforward and a bit more leaning into their roots and their more rockier side, it's what's paid off for them, you know? And this feels like Weezer is going to keep experimenting on us, but it's not an experiment that I'm, like, crushed by. I think it's interesting. I don't know if I'm 100% behind it yet, but the more I listen to it, yeah, the more I'm kind of intrigued. Okay, it's like, all right, what direction are you taking us here, buddy? All right, this is different, but I don't hate it. I don't, you know. I'm more in love with it than in hate with it, but I'm not completely won over just yet. Like, okay, the people who are saying this, who are saying, you know, this is, oh my God, this is a reason to be afraid, this is panic mode shit, this is, oh my God, it's Raditude Part 2, oh my God. No, okay? Or at least just based solely on this first song? No, not even close, I don't think. Okay, because, yeah, Raditude played with a lot of synthesizers and it went super pop music. But the thing is, Raditude was more mainstream pop. It was more, you know, Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, Beyonce pop. It was an album that was trying to hit the top 40 just not even the top 40 mainstream rock tracks or anything. This was trying to hit the top 40 pop tracks. Raditude was trying to be a pop album and failing. You know, Raditude was trying to be mass-marketed, you know, serialized garbage that, you know, most people just, you know, huff down for a summer and then never think of again, you know? It was trying to be that cynical. There was a ton of cynicism on Raditude, you know? It didn't feel like the songs were coming from a creative place. It felt like they were coming from, you know, a business, test-marketed, strategic sort of, this is the winning formula that always hits the charts, and we will adapt that formula into our sound, and we will hit the charts and become a, you know, mainstream selling band. We will outsell Ed Sheeran, or, you know, whoever it was at the time. Probably, like, I don't follow the pop charts, so I would be the last person to know. But the thing is, yeah, there was this whole cynical, let's just make something that everyone's gonna buy feel to Raditude that I totally do not get from this. I mean, if they were wanting to do Raditude again, well, they'd probably just make their stuff sound like everything else, you know? They'd probably make it sound very, like Meghan Trainor-y. Actually, if they were doing the whole Ratitude thing again and just making cynical cash grab pop, you know what they would probably sound like? The motherfucking Chainsmokers. Because everyone's trying to rip off the motherfucking Chainsmokers for some bizarre reason. Fuck, even the new Linkin Park. It sounds just like an even shittier version of the Chainsmokers. Like, okay, say whatever you want to about the new Weezer single. Compared to the new Linkin Park tracks, it's pissed. Oh god, like if there's any album I'm worried about this year, at least based off of the first few singles, it's that new Linkin Park. Like that screams of cynical cash grab. That screams of, well, okay, let's just give up and just sell as much as we can, you know, whatever. Yeah, it's that same fuzzy electro bullshit that the rest of you love. Yeah, whatever, you'll buy it. You'll buy it. We're Linkin Park, you'll buy it. That's what that new Linkin Park feels like. I don't get that same vibe here with the Black Album, or at least based on this first single, you know? Like, again, the cynicism isn't there, you know? I feel like it's at least, because like I said, if they were just trying to, you know, cash grab and Ratitude it all over again, then, you know, they wouldn't risk putting out something that's really, like, this melancholy and this, like, kind of, you know, kind of sad, and you know, some Chainsmoker songs and, you know, other stuff is sad, but this feels more, like, it feels more like an experiment, you know? This doesn't sound like, you know, a lot of the stuff that's coming out of the pop mainstream. It doesn't sound like anything Weezer's really done in the past either. So, you know, again, I'm like, I have way more respect for what Weezer is doing right now than what Linkin Park is supposedly doing right now. So, yeah, I'm not as worried about the Black Album based on what I've seen. I am worried about this. But, you know, the Black Album, again, it's another reason why I don't necessarily like to review singles, because, I mean, one, a single, more often than not, is a piece of an entire album. It's like a preview, it's like a small snippet of what the rest of the album is going to be, and, you know, like, we're really not seeing the whole picture with this song, you know? I mean, Thank God for Girls was the first single off of the White Album, and the White Album sounds nothing like Thank God for Girls, so, you know, like, it could just be a, you know, in another case of them just picking a bad song to sort of, you know, establish the album's initial tone and mood and whatnot, but, you know, again, at least it grew on me, you know, at least, you know, it took a few spins, but it did end up kind of winning me over, and that's certainly worth applause. I mean, you know, again, maybe the Black Album is gonna be, like, something that's that's, you know, something that's probably going to take a few spins to really get into, you know? Again, if it's just based off of this one song, you know, this could be something that, you know, your typical standard-ass Weezer fan is gonna have to adjust to. But, you know, and again, I don't know. Again, maybe this is just, maybe the rest of the album is a bit more straightforward Weezer, a bit more straightforward rock. But, you know, if this ends up being the worst song on the album, I'll be pretty happy. You know, because even I can dig this song. It took me a while to get into it, but, you know, I think the Black Album might be pretty good. If this is the worst thing we have to look forward to, I'll certainly. You know, I'm less worried about Black than I am about, you know, when I first heard Thank God for Girls, I was like, no. See, that was my, no, Weezer, you're falling into bad habits again. That was my, no, Weezer, please don't moment. But they, you know, they were able to fishtail and, you know, correct themselves, and, you know, that album turned out way better than I think some of us were expecting, and I still have optimistic hopes for what the Black Album might end up being. But, I mean, if the entire album is like this, if the entire album is, you know, kind of this weird, sort of dreamy, sort of melancholy-ish, sort of kind of downer bummer vibe, you know, if the whole album sound, if we're getting an entire album of Feels Like Summer, I don't know if I'll be 100% on board with it. It's, you know, again, I always want to encourage bands to experiment and try new things, And you know, this is a new direction. This is a new thing, and it's a cool new thing. But I could see this getting really tired if I've got to sit through like 40, 45 minutes of it. You know, again, it's just our first single. It's our first little hint, our first little morsel into what is going to eventually be coming. And I don't know, it's a bit too early to call, but yeah. This song, yeah, like I said, I didn't care for this song at first, but it grew on me. And that's, you know, that's important to note, you know? This could be a wild ride, this album. Who the hell knows? Is this gonna be a Raditude Part 2? I kinda doubt it, but I ain't exactly completely won over yet. But this first single did try some new things, and it did some, you know, like it pulled some new punches, you know, that I wasn't sure Weezer was even capable of. So, yeah. Could be worse. Could certainly be better. I don't know, again, I guess we'll see. But guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this sort of satisfies what you would want from an episode like this. Again, I don't like this more vloggy, sort of off-the-cuff kind of improv style. I'm not good at it. I work better off of a script. I don't feel comfortable just talking with no... See, I'm doing weird shit with my hands right now. I never know what to fucking do with my hands. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for putting up with the April Fool's shenanigans. And thank you very much for, you know, your wildly positive reception to the first episode in the Green Day series. I can't for sure say when the next episode is going to be out. It might be a while. Like, it might sincerely be a while, but my loose goal for this series is to have a new episode out every 3 months. You know, because I do want to try to finish this series in a year. Maybe that's beyond delusional, but I want to at least try, you know? So, I'd like to get the next one out before the end of June. But again, I have a lot of stuff on my plate. I've got a ton of albums I need to review. I need to do a Patreon quickie because I've got a ton of Patreon requests I need to tackle. And just a good old-fashioned quickie because there was a lot of other stuff I missed. You know, the new Creeper, the new Remo Drive, the new Mastodon, the new fucking everything. I missed it. Plus there's still lots of Game & Crash stuff. Like, 1 million fucking games came out in March and I haven't talked about any of them. So I want to at least cover something on Game & Crash. Plus, I'm also moving to a new apartment right around the end of May, so that's also going to factor into things. So please forgive me if, you know, we don't necessarily meet that June 30th goal for the next Green Day episode, but I'll try. That's all I can say. I will try my diddly darn damnedest to get that episode out for you guys. And that's it. Thank you all for watching, and remember, the only opinion that really matters is your own. Cheers.